Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, chiefj.dev. So please, if you have not yet liked or subscribed, please do so. So in some of my videos that I already uploaded, then I got some issues. Some people are saying they have not understood about variables and what I was really doing. For instance, those who are not doing and who are not doing my field. So for the sake of understanding variables, we are going to do some practice. So let's head to our code editor, our PyCharm. So let's create a variable. A variable is simply a container that stores a given data type. It can be an integer, it can be a string, any data type, boolean value, name it. There are many data types. So for instance, in this case, we are saying we have a variable called container and we are assigning an integer to it. In this manner, it's 25. So we assign the variable called container and integer 25 that we want to use later. Maybe we want to use it somewhere, or maybe we want to use it multiple times. So let's do a simple practice on variables in that case. So we are just going to design a simple conversion game, not a game, but we tell a user to enter a given number of days, then we convert it to hours. So put an input function. We are using the input function because I want the user to put in a given number of days so that we convert it to hours. So say enter any number of days and I convert it to hours. So let me use this. This just lets the user to enter in the next line instead of entering continuity. We'll go to the next paragraph instead of continuing. So we are going to assign this input, whatever the user is going to put, 10 days, what we are going to store that value in a variable. Okay, sorry about that. Let's call the variable user input. So whatever the user puts in the given number of days, we're going to store it in that variable called user input. I guess we are getting to know what a variable is. Container that stores a data type. In this case, the data type we are storing to enter for us given number of days, which will be of course. So when I run this, I will say enter any number of days and I convert it to hours. So when I write 10 like that, but there is still nothing. So what we are going to do, we are going to convert this. So but before, let me first create another variable. This variable we are going to call it hours, and then we are going to put how many hours are in a day, 24. So just in my calculation, I'm going to get what the user has put in, multiply by the number of hours that I have, so that I get how many hours are in those given number of days. So before printing, let me first do the calculation. Let's do the calculation first. So I'm going to say my user input and times the number of hours. So that should give me the number in the days the user has entered. Correct? That's just mathematics. Yeah. So I'm also going to get that calculated answer and then save it into another variable. So in this case we shall name it as converted value. We save it into that variable. Now I go on and print my converted value. Okay, so when I go and run this program, this code, enter any number of days, I convert it to hours, the user enters 10. There we go. You're seeing here it is writing 1010101010. This is simply because in our user input, the input function normally is a string when we use this function called input. So when we come to our converted value and say user input times hours, it's going to multiply a string, not the 10. It's going to treat that 10 as a string. So it will say 10 times 24. It will give me 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 24 times. So for me to rectify that, I have to convert the user input into what? Into an integer, such that if I multiply times 24, it can multiply. But here we are going to use the int function. So the int function changes one data type, let me say string, into an integer, so that now when we run this code, then we enter 10 days, it is going to give me now the exact number of days, which is 240, instead of multiplying the string like what it did. Yeah, so that is it. So print a message instead of just the answer. So we shall use a formatted string in this case, instead of using, you can use formatted strings or concatenation, but for concatenation may I find it a bit very confusing, and the formatted string is somehow better. So we use those curly brackets, and we say the user input, which is the number of days the user has put, half, then we put the converted value there, the one that has been calculated, hours. This should be pretty. This is pretty. So put 10 days, then 10 days have 240 hours. That's now pretty. It's looking very good. I can put another number of days, 26. In these days have 624 hours. Yeah, so we are just seeing how variables work and how we can assign different data types to variable. So now what we can do, I think there is nothing more that we can do. I think we have completed what we wanted to do. That variables is a container that we can save a data type inside, and then we use that data or that given data type later in our code. The 24 hours we have seen, we used it in our converted value. Even the user input, we have used it. So we can even remove the int function from here instead of putting it here, and we come and put it here. We convert it immediately when the user puts our int function there, and this one will also it will also do the same thing when I run the code in my console. then put 10 days. See, it works. So but for cleaner data or cleaner code, it's better we leave it the first time like the way it was, or even we could first convert it and then we later do the calculation. So let me put another variable called user converted. We are converting now what the user has put in into an integer. So I put int of the user input. So to convert the user input to int, then here when calculating, instead of using user input, I will say user converted times hours to give me that. Then when I come again, see, it works in my console. So that's how variables are, that's how they work. Here we created 3 variables: hours, user input, then the user converted, and the converted value. In fact, there are 4 variables. All the hours has a data type of an integer, then the rest they have the calculation, all the others are also integers. So thank you, subscribe, and see you in the next video.